Hey y'all, welcome to Writing for this week. I hope you guys are staying safe, making sure you're washing your hands and staying sanitized. First things first, shout out to Miss Kaylee. She shared with me about a week ago that she really enjoys watching these videos. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for participating and enjoying watching my videos. Next thing, you're probably wondering, what am I doing in Mexico? Like, why am I here? I am in Mexico because Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow. So happy early Cinco de Mayo. And for those of us who probably aren't sure what Cinco de Mayo is, Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican holiday that is celebrated because they actually won a battle against the French a long time ago. So, welcome to writing. Let's go ahead and hop into the video for this week.
Okay, so welcome to writing again. Let's go ahead and get started. So this week we actually have two objectives that we're going to be focusing on. And both of these are things that we've talked about in the classroom before. So hopefully this can be like a refresher and boost your memory. So the first objective is I can use question marks to end questions. So repeat after me. I can use question marks to end questions. The next objective is I can use exclamation points to show shouting or strong feelings. So repeat after me. I can use exclamation points to show shouting or strong feelings. Okay, scholars, so for this first part, I want you to think about what you notice as I read these sentences to you. Do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a cracker box. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to look and think about what I just read and tell me what you notice. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing is that this is actually more than one sentence. This is actually three sentences, and I know it's three because I see three different punctuation marks. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3. Nice job. And we know a punctuation mark ends a sentence. The next thing that I'm noticing is that the first sentence is a question. So when I read it, I have to read it with a questioning voice. These next two sentences have exclamation points at the end. So I know that when I read those two sentences, I have to read it with my exciting voice because this person is very excited about what they're saying. So if you notice those two things or three things, go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back. Okay, so next we're going to start comparing sentences. So we're going to focus on how they're alike and how they're different. The first one says, do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a cracker box. The second one says, do you see this room? Clothes cover every inch of the floor. So the first thing I'm noticing, we're actually going to do different first. So what's the difference between these two sentences? The first thing that I'm noticing is that the top has three sentences versus the bottom only having two. Let's count the punctuation marks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we were right. Now let's double check the second one. 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, we were right. Three sentences versus two. And that's actually the only difference. Now we're going to go into how they're alike or how both parts are the same. They're both about messy rooms. I know this because when I'm reading the sentence, and the first one is saying that the shoe was in a cracker box, and the second part is saying that clothes is on every inch of the floor, I know that this room is not organized. Next is that they both have question marks and exclamation marks. Okay, so for this last part, we're actually going to take it sentence by sentence. And for each sentence, we're going to talk about what changed and what is the effect of the change. So what changed and how did that make the sentence different? Or even if it changed the meaning of the whole sentence. So for the first one, it says, do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a cracker box. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to look at what changed in this sentence. So in this first sentence, the question mark has been changed to a period. This can slow you down when you're reading because when you see a period, you take that pause so that you can breathe, but then it changes the whole meaning of the sentence because it's not really a question anymore if there's no question mark. Let's go ahead and move into the second one. Do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a cracker box. So in the second sentence, the first exclamation point is changed to a period. It is still correct, but I no longer read it with excitement in my voice. So instead of saying, this is Melvin's sneaker, I just say, this is Melvin's sneaker. So that's what changed with the second sentence. And the last one, do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a cracker box. So what changed in this sentence is the apostrophe. So this little mark right here is called an apostrophe. Can you repeat after me? Apostrophe. Nice job. I know that's kind of a long word, but the apostrophe just basically is showing ownership. So for example, Melvin is owning the sneaker. So it's Melvin's sneaker. And I know it's his sneaker because this apostrophe tells me that he's owning the sneaker. Right here, there's no apostrophe, so I don't really know whose sneaker this is. And when you take out the apostrophe and just put an S, that makes the word plural. So it's basically saying this is Melvin's sneaker. Like there's a bunch of Melvins, and that doesn't even really make sense. So make sure that if you're talking about something that someone owns, you have to put an apostrophe at the top. Alrighty, time for my favorite part. Writing Blitz. And actually, shout out to Kaylee again because she is the one who gave me this prompt for this week. It says, if your pet went to school, what would they learn or what classes would they have? So if your pet went to school, what would they learn or what classes would they have? So my pet is Leader the Lizard, or the Bearded Dragon, I should say. And if he had a class, I would probably say it would be PE, so that he can get to go outside and be where it's very hot because he likes it when it's very hot. So if your pet went to school, what would they learn or what classes would they have? And if you don't have a pet, you can just talk about an animal that you would like to have as your pet. And once you're done with that, you can go ahead and send it to me through cell phone, email, or even through Class Dojo. Thank you all so much, and I will be uploading another video next week. Happy early Cinco de Mayo!